you wrote an article. It was like, if data centers aren't so bad, why are they building them in secrecy, I think?
Correct. Everything begins with that secret, even Hinckley, California.
Amen. Well, what hit me about it, if data centers are so great, why are they being built in secret?
Yeah, that was in Substack, the Brockovich report.
And you talked about the biggest one, which is built in Louisiana. In the flatlands, it says right here, in the flatlands of Northeast Louisiana, known for soybean fields and dense clusters of river cane, Meta is building a 4 million square foot AI campus called Hyperion. When finished, it will consume more electricity than the entire city of New Orleans and cover a footprint the size of Lower Manhattan. And then it says here, Meta's investment establishes the region as an anchor in Louisiana's rapidly expanding tech sector, revitalizes one of our state's beautiful rural areas, and creates opportunities for Louisiana workers to fill high-paying jobs of the future, said Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry in a press statement. I thank Meta for their commitment to our state. And what shocked me here, though, was a resident of Holly Ridge, an unincorporated community in Richland Parish, said she found out about the data center the way everyone else in her community did when they started digging.
Correct.
And I was like, she says, nobody told us anything.
Correct.
They supposedly had a big meeting. The whole community was supposed to come. Nobody knew anything about it ever.
Correct.
But how did data centers come onto your radar?
So I woke up one morning and I had 30 individual emails from the same community regarding the same issues, data centers. Wow. So having done this for 30 years now, anytime I get a cluster of emails, that's a sign. And then I was like, data centers. It was almost a moment like in Hinckley, California. Hexavalent what is that? Data centers. What's going on with data centers? That I started looking into it. And things, I don't know, my questions weren't being answered about data centers. So what I do is I like to see the big picture and I like to create maps. So I created what's called Brockovich datacenter.com, where people, if they were having issues with data centers in their backyard, could self-report. And I've created self-reporting registry databases before. Think about it. We have no place where we can self-report. Everything that we report goes through an agency.
Wow.
Even in Hinckley, California, and it got stuck up in the California Health Department.
Of course.
Nobody ever knew.
And so many agencies are compromised anyway now, so why not create our own? This is amazing.
Right. And this is a place where people who I believe that are living, breathing, and experiencing these issues are the best source of information. So what I thought when I put this map out here, in the first 72 hours, the map crashed twice. Wow. And I woke up on day 3 going, oh my God, it's not one town and one aquifer and one data center. It's the entire country.
Wow.
We've talked about Louisiana from the Midwest. Now, the next thing that I noticed, because each one of these people in their submission, it wasn't this one town reporting the same thing. It's the whole country. They had no idea. They had no idea. They woke up to this construction. We weren't informed. City council didn't tell us anything. We were completely in the dark because these big tech groups came in and put these city council members under a non-disclosure.
Oh, is that what you're...
Correct. In every state. In every state. Every city, every town reporting to me. We knew nothing. Non-disclosure agreements.
I just saw a video the other day. See if you can find that, Trevin. It's a woman at a city council meeting from, here, I see it. So it says right here. A resident of Tyrone Township, Michigan, confronted local officials with a simple question. Have you signed an NDA with any private party regarding developments that could affect the township? Yeah, this was the clip that I saw. Can we play it?
Have you personally signed any NDA, any agreement, or had any private communication, such as meetings, phone calls, text messages, or emails, with any developer, company, landowner, or representative regarding any current or potential project that could affect Tyrone Township? Chris Robetta.
No.
Dean?
No.
Jennifer?
I'm not answering your question. This is not the time or place.
I can ask you whatever I want. Don't tell me what I can say.
But we don't have to answer you.
But you're communicating with me, Jennifer. I didn't think you were supposed to do that. Greg Carnes, how about you? Yes or no?
Not the place. We've already discussed this, so.
Who's already discussed it? I'm sorry? Who's already discussed
This
it?
has been discussed.
Who has?
Oh,
Who's discussed it? I've not discussed this with you. What are you saying? Pam Moffler? Yes or no?
wow, Pam, letting me down.
You work for us.
That's right.
Herman Ferguson?
Oh, you Herman boy.
Won't answer. Zach Tucker?
Mike, stop. You say
Excuse
guilty
me.
one more time, you're out.
Wow,
I'm not tolerating.
I love
See,
that.
this is what I love. This
love
woman,
this.
this mother, listen, I just become their biggest cheerleader. You know, this is not my story. Hinckley wasn't my story. It was their story. This is their story. And it becomes all of our stories. And I love watching moments like that.
Yeah. Oh no, I think this is great. I like vigilante stuff. I like somebody who's just like in that moment where it's uncomfortable, you still speak. You speak through that uncomfort, that nervousness. You know, like whatever it is. Like you're trying to speak to power and say, "Well, this is what this feels like from here." How are these big companies able to compromise? And I'm not sure that these people are compromised. We don't know, right? But it's interesting what. The conversation she's establishing here, it's interesting, some of their answers for sure. But how are some of these tech companies or any companies able to compromise some of these like smaller area council members, et cetera, do you think?
So these small rural council members, you know, they don't have a lot of funding. And these big companies are coming in and they're talking $10 billion. And these council members are very lured by that because, you know, they want to have infrastructure and things like that in their own backyard. And they were kind of misled, but to sign a non-disclosure agreement probably didn't seem like a big deal to them for a big exchange to the city council and to the community to make all this money to build this center. And then they're lured into thinking it's going to create jobs and long-term economic gain when that's actually not what's happening, but that's the hook.
Do you think a lot of them are actually, so do you think a lot of the council people are actually lied to as well? Like it's a...
Well, apparently they aren't asking a whole lot of questions about data centers and they're just more lured by the money. And that's the thing that really fascinated me with the self-reporting map, because unbeknownst to all these other communities in different states across the country, they're reporting the exact same thing. I'm baffled. You're talking all of our city councils, because I tell people go local.
Yeah.
And if this is a situation in building data centers, you've got to go local because you need the permitting and the zoning. And they're lured into this, but that every city council across the United States of America was that lured by money, because these facilities are going in every state, multiple counties and cities across the entire country.
So that was a lot of the reporting you were getting, the self-reporting from people.
That was the first thing that made them mad.
That we didn't know it. Nobody knew.
Didn't know.
But how are these companies able to do it without people knowing? Like, because isn't there like, aren't there laws where you have to like, you have to say, okay, this is something that's being planned in our city or in our town, and then people are allowed to come. Or did you notice some sort of pattern where they're able to manipulate that?
A lot of people are reporting that they thought they were building a warehouse. And so construction begins, and they thought it was a warehouse, or we're here putting in a solar farm, or some other reason. Hey, we're going to build this out because it's great economic base for our community. But as it starts to go from non-disclosure, so we start at proposal, like that woman, she was in proposal phase, and she was pushing back then, but they wouldn't answer her, probably because they'd already signed the non-disclosure, and they were getting ready to go into the next phase, construction phase. And it's during a construction phase that people are like, whoa, wait a minute. You're destroying the land. You're cutting down all the trees.
That's when people notice it.
Yeah.
Right.
They're like, what's happening?
Agreed. I mean, I think that's what the same thing that's happened here, even locally in Nashville. It's like that's when it started to it wasn't in the beginning phase where people even knew what was going on. It's almost like in the too late phase. That's what I'm noticing.
Yeah.
Let me look at this. Spartanburg County data center lawsuit. Residents say $2.8 billion project was
There you go.
was wrongly classified as minor development. A group of residents suing Spartanburg County and Valera Holdings LLC, the company behind a nearly $3 billion data center under construction along South Pine Street. Public records show Valera submitted an application to redevelop about 905,000 square feet of the former Kohler industrial plant as a minor land development. The county approved it. Weeks later, the company submitted a second application for phase 2 improvements, including 4 proposed buildings totaling about 494,000 square feet, along with a power yard, internal roadways, electrical equipment, a metering station, mechanical cooling systems, and stormwater ponds. The application also was approved as a minor land development. An attorney said they also broke it into 2 parts. First, they did a smaller application, which was still a big development, and called that minor. So they're saying that they classified it as minor, and obviously that doesn't sound very minor.
No. And this is
Wow,
happening everywhere. First of all, I love how you pull stuff up like that. You and me could work on this shit together.
Really?
I'm just saying, we could be trouble.
Really? What would I do? Do I have to go to court? I can be Atticus Finch. I'll be his son.
You'll do
Ricky Finch.
you'll steal the 2-headed frogs with me.
I'll put him in that.
We'll get this all put in an order that everyone understands. That'd be great.
I'll put one of them in that frog jumping contest that's over there in Louisiana. What parish is that in over there? Rain over there. The Rain Frog Festival. Now that 2-headed frog, he's a little top heavy.
Yeah, he is a little top heavy. Might not win. But going back, it's so great to you kind of to understand what is that the future. You got to go back in time. So to understand these things, you're going right back in time. That's very dyslexic.
Yeah.
thing to do.
Oh, it's dyslexic thinking. Yeah, that's what we're doing here.
But to your point about the NDAs. They're like using shell companies. The city council's rezoning, doing different permits for minor changes or a warehouse that they're just expanding on.
Yeah.
So they're telling you the truth, but not the full truth.
How do we force these companies to be more transparent? Like, what can we do?
Well, that's a very big question because they have all the money in the world. And for smaller communities and city council, I don't know, maybe they're gullible, but it's pretty hard to turn it down. And I think the big companies, I think the responsibility is on them. By way of example, Microsoft has just now announced they're removing all the NDAs. They now realize this was a bad way to approach it. But that is incumbent upon them. They know damn good and well what they're doing, but they're the ones that are not transparent.
You're talking about the NDAs regarding the data centers.
I'm talking about the big companies. They're the ones that are not being transparent. And then they mislead possibly all these council members.
Understood, yeah.
And the council members at some point know their tits in a ringer because they had a not NDA. So now their constituents are like, did you sign an NDA? Well, I signed an NDA. I'm not going to tell you I signed an NDA.
Right.
Now they realize they're in a little quagmire, and maybe now they realize they're being lied to. But it's amazing that these big companies, you're talking the biggest companies in the world.
For sure. I mean, we're talking Microsoft right here. I mean,
invaded like the entire United States and all of our city councils.
Well, it's all so organized at such deeper, darker levels. I want to go on 2 things real quick. For one, and this is just something I thought of. It's funny if you sign an NDA, if somebody asks you, you can't. It's like you kind of all you can do is kind of like you're like You can kind of only make the letters NDA. Like you can kind of make those sounds like
There you go.
So anyway, I just thought that was interesting. Yeah.
There you go.
Anyway.
We could make a song out of that for NDAs.
But sorry, and that was just ridiculous, I think. But it says right here in January, Microsoft announced our Community First AI infrastructure plan, outlining our commitments to the communities where we operate or are seeking to operate data centers. As part of that announcement, we called for a greater degree of local transparency. Today, we're sharing that Microsoft has made the decision to end the use of non-disclosure agreements
everywhere
with local governments as the next step in our work to deliver that transparency. We're committed to sharing information about our data center plans as openly as possible as we continue to build trust with the communities around the world in which we operate. But do you think that they did this after they already had everything done that they wanted, or do you think that they realized, oh, this is backfiring, and so we have to backtrack and do it like this?
I think they tried to get away with it, just like PG&E did.
Does that question make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
So they don't learn. Sometimes they don't learn transparency. Just fucking say it on the upfront. And this is what I've learned. People will handle that truth. They won't handle the lie. So I think Microsoft realized what they were not expecting and what nobody, in my opinion, was expecting was the backlash from the people.
Amen.
And I don't know where that glitch was, but they're like, I don't think so. So that's where they came back in. And you better correct that before you find yourself in some huge litigation.
Amen.
And these litigations, and when you're talking about something like this, and like even in California, we've gone from the water to the fires. They're not selling for $333 million. They're selling for $38 billion. So Microsoft, I think, tried to get those NDAs through and then did not expect the backlash from the people.
Amen.
So we, the people, once again, changed the course of direction. So I think what's happening, this has happened so fast. It was just like, everybody will tell you, it felt like an invasion. It's just stealth bombers coming in the middle of the night.
Data centers, you mean?
Yeah,
I
the
agree.
data centers.
I agree.
And they were just here.
Agreed.
And I think even council members were quickly wooed, non-DAs, and are now, again, stepping back and going, wait a second.
That's a good point.
I need more information here. But at the onset, I think the thing that's so frustrating for the people, or why I don't understand, you as city council members or any legislative body or office, why do you not listen to your constituents?
Yeah.
What sign is it that you're missing? It's not one showing up. It's 100. It's 1,000. And disregarding your constituents' opinions.
Well, it's so funny you say that. I think it's interesting. People get into positions of like power and like elected positions, right? And they start listening uphill. Like, oh, this is where the better information's coming from, because this is how I get invited to like a dinner party, or, maybe you get invited to eat a special box of croissants or something somewhere. Somebody cuts you off a beautiful sausage you never had or something. And that's, your ear starts to turn like, oh, well, this is where the true information comes from.
No, the true information always comes from the ground and the people up.
From the roots, baby. That's where the roots at. Hey, the roots. That's why they grow that way.
That's where it comes from.
Out the mud.